This is like the perfect time here.
Yeah. Can you hold it?
Mm-hmm.
It's recording. Can you give me like a little?
Go?
Oh.
No, you got it in your pocket.
You want to put your gloves?
No, I'm good. It's close.
Well, I just hold it.
Yep.
I have my gloves, so if you want to put yours. Or if you want to put on your slippers. Wow. I hope we can see it. Already there? Do you want to?
Run. Fast forward.
Yeah.
I had the idea. Oh yeah.
Want to take a picture there? Picture there.
Yeah.
Actually, my phone, I think, it's not good enough in low light.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
So you heard my brother Lars also and met our friend Tuomas. Here's my brother-in-law Peter and I'm Per Henrik. So we are a local reindeer herding and also Sami family up here in the northern Finland, and these reindeer roaming around us, these belong to our family, and these are specifically trained driving reindeer. These are the more veterans that don't work so much pulling anymore, but they are very relaxed around people. So we feel confident to have them roaming around you. But please let's respect the animal's personal space. Although Mara is like that, he doesn't respect your personal space, but we have to respect his. So they are not pets like cats and dogs. They have natural instincts. They can get scared if you touch them. So especially when others are feeding them and people are crowded, let's not touch the reindeer so that they get scared and then push someone because of that. They are not going to attack you, they are not aggressive. But like I said, they are not looking for the petting. Some of them don't mind to be touched when their favorite food is around, as you can see. But they do have an escape reflex, natural instinct. So reindeer is actually not reliant on human assistance. Most of the reindeer are outside, or all of them are outside all their life, and but most of them are also in the wilderness all their life and finding their own food and surviving with the elements. So all of you will get the chance to feed them like this. We will give some lichen for everyone. You have multiple rounds. It's a quite quick process. So possibly you will miss the photo shoots in the first time. Or if you want to prefer, you can make a buddy system with a friend. Take a photo, feed, and vice versa. Keep your hand a bit away from you because they do have the antlers. Although they don't want to hurt you, they have the antlers. They can unintentionally bump into you with those. Especially important when the food drops to the ground. It eventually will. They will put their head down and it will come up at some point. And then if you have something on top of them, it will be in contact with the antlers. So don't put your face down on top of them like that. And let's not make human circles around them. We have reindeer on this side of the fence also, which you can see. Let's see these ones by putting our hand through the fence like this so they can comfortably reach you and they don't get stuck to the fence. So you can spread around a bit, and we are not in a hurry. We have half an hour to do this. Let's not make human fences around them. Be active in a way that be polite in a way that let's give everyone a chance to feed them first. But when everyone has something feeling, be active. We have even more.
He doesn't want your food. No food? I'll take it.
Bye. Are you making photos?
A video, sure.
Oké. Nou, hij maakt foto's, ja? Oh ja, ik kan ook. Ja, het is wel heel donker. Oh, oh, oh.
But I really want to let them end the game. Like, I know you're not supposed to, but he's
Oh, you're like telling to pet them, but you're not allowed to.
Yeah,
So you shouldn't do that. I gave the wrong
I
example.
almost did it too.
Yeah, me too, because you're like, oh. And then you're like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Plant-based.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually interesting. That's plant-based. You don't see any meat. No, none.
Just plants. Just plants. Has the natural important thing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the antler. Every year they shed the antler. Every year they shed the antler.
Yeah.
So at this time of the year already, it's dried up at some point. So they blow it. And then it starts to grow new one. When they grow new one, there's blood circulation going to the bone. It's natural cycle for them that. When they stop growing, blood starts to flow upwards.
Yeah.
So the extra blood flow when it starts to flow, the blood then comes
So it doesn't hurt for them? Yeah?
from the skull to the antler.
Yeah?
Also, they are dead.
Oh, so it doesn't hurt, no.
patiently
Yeah.
waiting until it comes.
Yeah, right. You're all frozen, by the way. You're all frozen.
Yeah, I know. I can see it a little bit.
Oh, it's so hard to have pictures with your hands.
Yeah,
Oh,
it-
really.
Can you also record me a bit?
Yes. Wait. So cool. No, you can have it. I'm not that good at this.
I mean, you don't have to.
It's quite zoomed in actually.
Yeah, it's a bit zoomed in. Yeah. Yeah.
I had to.
You like to zoom in, like this, something like that.
Yes. Look at the rest.
Be careful.
Thank you.
I wonder if they learn the word licken when we keep doing this. It seems like it.
Are the horns? Your bloody horns?
Yes, when they are growing and
I have nothing.
grow every year.
You're eating my gloves. Take a lot of energy.
Yeah, it takes energy.
Oh, I guess they lick the gloves.
Oh yeah.
Fine. No, don't eat it, please. It's not good.
I know.
Oh.
Ja, aber ich hab Bock auf Elche chillen. Alter, stell dir vor, die Jungs einmal hier. Die hängen so weit, oder?
You see my nose, ice nose?
A bit.
I have ice nose.
Ice nose.
Ice nose.
Nice now.
Bias.
No, you don't know. Yeah. There's the other group still inside as well. Just wait.
Yeah, they might be extra.
I don't know.
I haven't seen them go out, so.
Yeah. The shoes are actually not that warm.
No, I don't know.
I heard beer. I think there's fruit juice.
Just said here. Not beer.
Beer is not warm, so it's okay. I prefer warm drink. Actually not too warm.
But I mean, the doors are both open right now, so. Was?
Oh! A cup of tea, if you will.
Didn't recognize you for a second. There's not much of your face visible.
Yeah, just the eyes, pretty much.
Diesel heater, if you're completely frozen, it's best you go and warm up there a little bit, then come closer here.
Ja, dat is dus wel interessant. Je moet eerst warmen in de kou. Ja. Dan wordt zeg maar hard.
It looks so like cozy.
Isn't it curious that although you might be like 5 meters away from the fireplace and watching the fire, you already will feel warmer. Although I'm pretty sure that the fire has not really warmed you up, kitchen. And in Russia, it sounds more Russian to me rather than the Sami that I speak. but in schools we are taught different dialects, so we are familiar with it. So I can speak with many of the other dialect speakers, but most fluent I am with the Tavi-Sami kiela that's spoken here in Finland and Sweden and Norway. The poem goes Chiecha, Chappa, Chahpes, Chichacha, Chohkarepa, Chuhke, Chachi. 7 black beautiful birds sat down to drink some water. Yeah, it's supposed to be a tongue twister that once you can pronounce it fast and clear, you are fluent in Sami language. Chiecha, Chappa, Chahpes, Chichacha, Chohkarepa, Chuhke, Chachi.
The words sound so similar.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like that, but because it's a tongue twister. The che is one of these, the letter che and che. The words that start with those letters are actually one of the oldest that we have. Like nowadays we have lots of loan words from Finnish language and Swedish and Norwegian, of course. Like we do not have our own word for a bike or a motorcycle or a tractor or stapler or these kind of things. Our vocabulary, we have lots of words on reindeer and snow and the weather and the forest and tundra itself. One of the words that everybody knows actually comes from the Sami language, and it's tundra. And it comes from the Sami word tuottara. The mountains or the fjell you see around us are actually called tuottara. And in Norway they will be called kaisa. Any other questions? Yes?
How many people, how many Samis are there?
There are roughly 100,000 of us, Sami. And we live in Finland, Sweden, Norway and parts of Russia. In Finland the population is about 10,000. About 10% of us work with reindeer. And the largest concentration of Sami in Finland is not up here in the north, like a small area. It's actually a capital, Helsinki, where there is the largest concentration of Sami in a small area. So not all Sami live up here in the north and have reindeer. And actually there has been these, you can divide the Sami into reindeer herding Sami and ocean Sami, and then Sami who were fishing a lot, river Sami and forest Sami. River Sami and forest Sami, they're a bit the same. In ocean Sami, they got into fishing and hunting sea mammals and also setting up a fence for the sheep. Sooner than we did. My grandfather built our first house in the 1960s. Before that it was semi-nomadic to nomadic life. So not too long ago. Any other questions? Yeah?
How did the Sami people get associated with reindeers?
With reindeers? Well, the only reason that... Sorry. The only real reason that any people came up here in the north or were able to survive here was because of the deer. Mountain deer or fjell deer, reindeer. So the history dates back thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. us herding the reindeer goes back 500-600 years. But actually us working with the animal, it goes back thousands of years. We would already, it wasn't like suddenly we like decided that okay, let's now collect them all, and it happened in a long span of time that we started to have these more docile deer animals who came closer to us that we could actually start to tame down. And then it was the wilder ones that we hunted. We used the more calmer ones for bait, and the wilder ones we hunted. And little by little it was beneficial for the calmer ones to stay close to us. Like we would protect them as well, like from predators. And then it started so that actually we started to migrate with the animal and live among them. But we never, they never really went past that limit, the reindeer. They never became like cows or sheep or horses, like totally domesticated. There was this limit in where they were set, and now, even today, they are called semi-wild animals, and you were outside and you noticed how they behaved. Some of them come to you, the oldest ones, they don't really care of pretty much anything anymore what you do to them. They just walk away a little bit faster. They don't jump away and just sprint. If there would be a very wild reindeer there, still owned by a reindeer owner but closer to a wild animal than these reindeer, it would be staying on the furthest corner of the fence and you would not even notice it being here. Just run around.
How do you track them?
Tracking. Nowadays we have these GPS trackers that we can use to have a pretty good idea where the main herd is. Not all of the reindeer need it, but if we have some, we know if there is a big concentration of these trackers. We know there are lots of reindeer. Back in the day, when I was a child, I remember my father was all the time in the forest. It would be very rare that he would stay home more than 2 days. If he was, I remember just thinking to myself, when I went to school, he was already gone. Sometimes he would come home for a weekend, 1 or 2 days. If we would stay 1 day more and then I came back from school, I was like wondering, why is he all the time here? Sounds like funny and sad, but that's just the way it was still in the 90s and early 2000s when we did not have GPS trackers, and the reindeer herding here is still quite traditional even today. So although the reindeer herders most of the time are able to come back to their homes or the farms where the family lives, sometimes it's just a must or better or easier to stay in the forest. Sometimes it's a must, sometimes it's just a rough weather. Like this clothing we have here. Nowadays modern clothing are pretty good. So the Sami and the reindeer herders you see in the forest wear more modern clothing than these old traditional ones. For one, these are a lot more expensive, and it's more and more difficult to get people to make you these clothing. Like I've been waiting for the 3rd year now to get a big jacket from my sister. Still waiting, and my brother-in-law Peter is the next in line. And if you order one of these tailor-made for you, it can cost you up to 5,000 euros to get a tailor-made jacket for you. And it's not because you put 50% extra on top of the price, it's because it takes a lot of effort to make a jacket like that. my sister is actually working on this big project in the Sami community that would enable Sami sewers to make actual living out of making these clothing and jackets. There is a lot of misuse in the traditional jackets of ours, but it's mostly because of just people not knowing what they have and using them as just fancy jackets they have bought. But what this restriction of wearing the clothing has led is that many people are actually starting to be afraid of buying Sami clothing as well, and these handmade things, because they are perhaps not comfortable wearing them now. Even though, like the shoes we have here, it's not an elf shoe, even though it has this pointy nose. Also, it has this smelly grass in it. We call it smelly grass. It has a nice scent to it. When you put your feet into it for many days and you take your feet out, you don't get the bad scent. You get like a cup of green tea almost. Also, it's very warm. Well, because the reindeer has the second warmest fur in the world, and nowadays shoes, you put your feet into it and your feet don't really move. It's just your legs moving around. In these, your feet are actually moving all the time. We've all seen like pictures of indigenous people in like forest and jungles. Their feet, they don't really look like our feet. Like they look almost more like hands. You can have a look at this and tell, I have a question for you. What is the nose for? Look. I have also this very fancy looking mittens that my sister made. It is a taboo to ask a reindeer herder the amount of reindeer they have, because it represents your wealth. So it's like asking your bank account. But a way how to show it off would be, if it's not enough to wear a big jacket like this in normal colors, maybe you get it in white. It's kind of like, it sends the other people this message that I have such a big reindeer herd that I can just make my clothing out of the white ones I have. So, showing off. There you go. Any questions? I heard no answer for the shoe bit. And no guessing.
Okay.
Back in the day, we were nomadic. We used to move around with the reindeer in the tundra, in the forest, all the way from more south here in Finland to Norway, to the coastal areas. Migrational routes. It was harsh. The winter is harsh up here, so it was better to go perhaps a little bit south. More wooded areas. We have predators. The worst one for us is wolverine. Also eagles and bobcats, bears and wolves. When the reindeer are born in the month of May, they are very vulnerable. Any predator can hunt them even from a fox. So you can imagine that. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Why are they specifically vulnerable in May?
Because that's the month of the newborn reindeer, Mieseman. That's actually actually the most important time of the year for us, on top of this time. Like when we round them up and sell them for meat, it's very important for us. But then almost more important is the month of May when the new ones are born. Nowadays we give them earmarks when they're only a couple of days old, and we let them back to the forest. We fence them up for the month of May, and then at the end of June or early July we gather them up again, catch the ones that do not yet have earmarks, and off to the forest again. The mosquitoes gather them up during summertime, and they follow the winds. That's how we can predict how the reindeer are moving, from the wind. They always want to go against the wind. During the mating time, the male reindeer, they go on steroids, literally. Their hormone spikes. First they have huge bellies like this, and then the bellies like disappear and their necks swell, their muscles become like this, and their attitude changes completely. That's when a male reindeer can even be dangerous towards people, especially if they have gotten used to having people around, because then they might see you as competition. This is why the working reindeer that we have inside the fence here, they have been castrated. To make them more docile, to handle for us. The castration is done only after the training is finished. Makes us more docile towards the other reindeer and for us, and they do not get the mating season because they might get themselves injured and even dead. It's a rough business. The bigger the male reindeer has antlers, the more they are, more the female reindeer like them. The bigger the antler, the better. It sends this message that this male has good genetics, because both female and male reindeer have antlers. So if they have a large female that has large antlers and a large male that has large antlers, of course the baby has large antlers as well. Every year when the antler grows up, it grows in similar shape, just bigger and more branched out. That's the norm. Of course, if it's in a bad condition, it does not have the necessary energy to grow big antlers. It is the fastest growing bone in the world, up to 2 centimeters in one day. At one point in time, it was actually sold a lot of it to Asia, even to the Caribous. I heard that they rounded them up and cut the antlers and sold the antlers. You know, that part of the world there is a lot of natural medicine, and so they would grind down the reindeer antlers and use them as medicine. The antler symbolizes growth. So yeah, it was more of a men medicine. More of a medicine for men. I don't know, does it actually work? Probably not. I've also heard that outside you saw that the reindeer had some fur on top of the antler. Yes? In some places they would also eat the velvet, the fur, when it falls down. And I've actually seen reindeer eat it themselves as well. I suppose it also has lots of good minerals and vitamins in it. So, Any idea why the shoe is stuffed full of smelly grass and why does it have this nose in it?
Is it to cut through the snow?
That's usually the first answer I get, but no, it's not for that. Like you imagine like a snow plow, like it kinda does that, yes, but it's not for that reason, no. Like I mentioned, we were nomadic and we moved around with the reindeer. Imagine a long train of reindeer attached to one another, pulling the sleigh behind them, having all our belongings and the lavish tents and the family members on them. We did not have many belongings because like a wardrobe thrown on a sleigh, not really a smart thing to do. So we would have all our belongings on us, all the clothing, and like here is a baby crib, kiekka. Even I slept in one of these as a child. It's good to have on a sleigh, and also here I have these spaka that you put on the reindeer's back, and then on both sides you can put an equal weight and the reindeer can carry it up to 40 kilos. So maybe you put the child here and you put a bag of salt on the other side. Balance it out. Also, it is believed that Sami invented, well, skiing. So that's what the shoe is for. It is to attach your feet to the skis. Locking mechanism. No big brain moments here today, no. I have an easier question. Since a reindeer has the warmest fur in the world, which animal has the warmest? Yes, good.
You're really smart.
Yeah. That's an easier one. It's funny how it's the first thing people imagine. Like, what is the word? Polar bear.
Polar bear.
Yeah, polar bear. Any more questions?
If you have different reindeer herders, how do you control where the reindeer go and not go into different areas, different peoples, or is it just all mixing?
Here in the traditional reindeer herding area where there are old families who have had their reindeer pretty much at the same place for long times. Like we had our Sami villages, Sida, we had these in the forest, and that's where we used to have the reindeer. So we still like to have, the family likes to have the reindeer in that place, although we do not live there anymore, but the reindeer might still live mostly there. But we move them around in the different areas where there is better supply of food, less snow, less ice cover. We cannot be on the same place every year. We need to let the earth refresh. But sometimes it's called it's the worst thing that happens is that the reindeer herds mix up, the family herds. It can happen by accident and in rough weather, rough winters, bad terrain, lots of snow. Because, well, if there is nothing to eat, then the reindeer does not want to stay there. It won't just stand around and starve to death, you know. It will try to survive. The last resort, it's trying to go south. It will just push south as much as possible. Couple years ago, not here, but little bit more south, the reindeer herds moved more than 100 kilometers more south by force. They just went. And since there was nothing to eat up there in the north, you couldn't just make them come here, you know. They just did not want to come back. So they had to move most of them by cars, you know, in trailers. Cast them up, round them up and cast them again and move them in trailers back. That's what climate change is doing to us today. These kind of events are more and more common. The caribou population, caribou is pretty much the same animal. It is, well, it's decreasing the population, and the only reason why the reindeer population is not is because of the effort that we put into the reindeer, the amount of extra food we have to give to them.
Hi friends. It's 15 past. I was thinking, if some of you still want to see the reindeer, you can. If someone still want to ask questions, you can. And if some of you already want to go home because you want to have some time to prepare for Tromsø, you can also go. So it's like freedom. So there's a couple of, so applause for Lars.
Yeah, thank you.
He knows everything and you're smart people. So if you have more questions for Lars, you can ask him. Otherwise you can go out the back.
So a big part of the group already left. Yeah. But we have some over here and they will join you.
Yeah.